Tonight, how revelry turned to tragedy in the blink of an eye. 16-year-old Harry Pittman was stabbed at a New Year's Eve event in Primrose Hill.
It's 1950, you are under arrest for murder, okay?
His killer, who was also 16 at the time, was today found guilty of murder. Also ahead.
So these are the last messages that you and your brother have shared together?
Yes.
The frantic calls to loved ones in hurricane-hit Jamaica and the tourists who now feel trapped.
And there was between about 100 to 200 in one room. You could hear the wind and hear things crashing up against the hotel.
The 49-year-old killed in Uxbridge as he walked his dog. In the last hour, a man has been charged with murder. And
Blue moon of Kentucky, keep on shining.
the sad ballad of an America's Got Talent star, how a rude welcome to London led this singer on an unwelcome tour of the city. Good evening. They were strangers in the crowd, two teenagers among many who'd gathered to watch the New Year's Eve fireworks. But as Harry Pittman joked around with friends on Primrose Hill nearly 2 years ago, his killer was just a few metres away. A Rees Lloyd Hall pushed forward and stabbed Harry in the neck. Today he was found guilty of the 16-year-old's murder. Kath O'Flatter has been following the case and has this report.
Midnight, 2024. As the capital smiled and cheered and celebrated the new year, an innocent teenage boy lay bleeding to his death. Harry Pittman had arrived at Primrose Hill that night, happy and jovial. At 11:30 p.m, he and his friends got into an argument with another group of boys, an argument which Harry had tried to calm down, but to no avail. A few minutes before midnight, Harry's soon-to-be murderer was seen running towards him with a knife. Harry swung for a punch, at which point he was dealt a fatal stab wound to his neck. Rees Lloyd Hall was the same age as Harry. He's never been named or pictured until now.
It's 1950, you are under arrest for murder, okay?
Harry's murder, as expected, brought shock and pain, a void in his family's life.
Harry was a good boy. He was a cheeky chap. He was a cheeky chap, to say the least. But he was a good boy with a heart of gold.
I've spoken and spent a lot of time with Harry's family after he was murdered, and I can say it's been a long and painful wait for justice. This is the second trial they've had to sit through, the second time they've had to listen to details of how Harry was killed, how he was stabbed. After the first trial, the jury couldn't come to a decision, but this time they did. After 2 days of deliberations, they decided that Harry's killer was indeed guilty of murder. And so ends his family's wait for justice. But nothing can end the loss they feel.
Kath, this has been a very long wait, hasn't it, for Harry's family?
It has. I mean, if you think Harry was killed, at the end of 2023, 2024, they've waited a year to get to this point. The next stage in their justice journey is the sentencing, when they'll find out how long Harry's murderer will be punished for, how long he'll spend in prison. We can expect to find out, they can expect to find out on the 10th of November this year.
OK, Kath, thank you. The Epping sex offender who was mistakenly released from prison last week was given £500 to not disrupt his deportation last night. Hadish Kabatu was put on a flight to Ethiopia, which landed this morning. The government said he was given money to avoid a slower, more expensive process for the taxpayer. Kabatu was wrongly freed from HMP Chelmsford on Friday, triggering a 2-day manhunt. Next tonight, it's been a day of frantic phone calls and unreturned messages to loved ones after Hurricane Melissa swept through Jamaica, leaving devastation in its wake. Tourists stranded on the island now have to contend with the dangerous aftermath of the storm, while the many relatives of Jamaicans here try to make sure their families are safe and homes still standing. And as Helen Keenan reports, help is starting close to home.
A paradise pummeled by one of the strongest storms to hit Jamaica. Devastation from 115-mile-an-hour winds and rain that means hospital corridors now resemble rivers. much of the country is without power or phone service. We joined Claudia at her work in Peckham. She is trying to reach her brother in Jamaica.
It's not going through.
She last heard from her family on Sunday.
These are the last messages that you and your brother have shared together.
Yes.
How often are you thinking about it?
Every day, every minute. Constantly. So, it's hard. It's really hard.
And for Londoners visiting, their hotels have become shelters. Luxury lounges, now makeshift beds, where tourists, Tom and his 10-year-old son from Thurrock, are trapped.
There was between about 100 to 200 in one room. You could hear the wind and hear things crashing up against the hotel. And where you're watching, where like Kingston and other places were affected, you was sort of praying for their safety as praying for your own as well.
And when the airports look like this, it's hard to put a timescale on when people will be able to leave or how aid will reach the island. But in South London, they're gathering supplies anyway, starting at Brixton Soup Kitchen.
Everyone's scared. Families over here are scared. Family over there, when we get hold of them, they're terrified. Brixton is basically Jamaica. People think of Brixton, they think of, the whole of Jamaica when it comes to the Caribbean, when it comes to the flavours, the colours, the smell. This is, the other side, of Jamaica. So this is the perfect place for people to drop off donations.
Storm Melissa is beginning to slow, but she hasn't stopped. Flooding has already started in Cuba, where she made landfall this morning, and it's expected to hit Bermuda and the Bahamas next. The storm may have passed for Jamaica, but the aftermath will be felt for much longer. Helen Keenan, ITV News.
In other news, a murder investigation is underway after a man in his 20s was stabbed to death in Lewisham. Messiah Robb was killed after the incident in Hither Green Lane at around 3:20 yesterday afternoon. He was treated at the scene but died in hospital. His mother described him as a bubbly young man with a contagious smile. A man and woman have been arrested on suspicion of manslaughter after a baby died, apparently coming into contact with hazardous chemicals at a flat in Newham. Fire crews were called to the property in Upton Park yesterday afternoon. Business owners and residents on a street in Kingston are furious at the council for closing it to two-way traffic, a decision they say that has ruined business and cut off a community. The new traffic system on Crescent Road came in August. Drivers say it's made access difficult, and with the signage unclear too, it means fines have been flowing ever since. Antoine Allen's been for a look.
Stop or face a hefty fine. Since August, only permit holders have been allowed to drive down Crescent Road in Kingston. Residents have hit the streets to protest the decision. They say signage for the trial road change is confusing, causing an increase in fines.
Who here's had a ticket?
We have!
The trial's goal is to reduce traffic, yet Kingston Council has earned over £40,000 already in road user penalties.
I couldn't understand what it was for.
Angela says she received an £80 fine after driving down the road that has been part of her journey through Kingston for decades.
I've been coming down this road since 1973 and I couldn't understand why I couldn't go down it anymore. The main thing is that I always stopped off at the shops on the way.
Businesses are suffering the most. Shop owners say the footfall from Kingston Hill has disappeared because potential customers fear the fines or simply think the shops like Malika's can no longer be accessed.
So they don't know if we are open or not, if they can still use the road or not. So they don't come, unfortunately.
So you won't survive?
We won't survive.
Shops on the parade say footfall is down 80%. A huge margin for shop owners fearing the future and questioning whether the council are supporting their needs.
No, the council are not doing anything to support us small businesses. This was a thriving parade. It's really gone doomp, you know, and how long we can survive, we don't know.
Kingston Council told ITV News the expansion is running as a trial in response to residents' concerns about the Kingston Gate and Kingston Hill area being used as a cut-through. It was agreed by local councillors to investigate reducing the high volume of through traffic and is part of a wider piece of work that will look at all possibilities for this residential area. Extra temporary signage has been introduced to give drivers better notice of the changes. A petition to reopen Crescent Road to two-way traffic has had over 1,200 signatures. Until the council make their final decision, driving through Kingston will be costly for those unaware of the one-way system. Antoine Allen, ITV News.
Still to come on the programme, on the hunt for a missing laptop in its musical treasure trove of work, and...
You look like a discreet assassin for a high-level fashion house. Thank you. You're welcome.
Is the joke on us how a well-dressed man paying strangers compliments became so popular? But first, in the last hour, a man has been charged with murder after a triple stabbing in Uxbridge. Safi Dawood has also been charged with 2 counts of attempted murder. A man who's been named locally as Wayne Broadhurst was walking his dog when he was killed on Monday evening. From Uxbridge, Hannah Kings has the latest.
A devastating loss. That's how those who knew 49-year-old Wayne Broadhurst are describing his death this evening. Wayne was one of 3 people stabbed on a quiet street in Uxbridge on Monday. In spite of paramedics' efforts, he died at the scene. Christoph lives nearby. He told us he was on his way home from work when he saw the aftermath of the attack.
When I first came across that, I really felt nothing, actually. I just wanted to help the man. I was in this fight or flight mode. But as soon as the gentleman standing next to me said that it was too late, I think the reality kind of sunk in, that I'm helpless and there's not much I could do to help him.
A 45-year-old man and a 14-year-old boy were also injured in the attack. The man's injuries are being described as life-changing. Local residents speak of hearing police sirens and a helicopter around the time of the attack, and it's being reported that some neighbours came out of their houses armed with baseball bats to try to defend the victims. Extra officers are being deployed here this week to try to reassure the community, but some have told us they feel less safe here than they did a few days ago.
We walk our dogs, we can relate to it. Do I have to keep turning around now? I'm not sure. We don't know what's safe, where's safe.
Police have tonight charged 22-year-old Safi Dawood with murder, attempted murder and possession of an offensive weapon. They say he's an Afghan national who was granted asylum in 2022 after arriving in the UK on a lorry 2 years earlier.
This isn't an individual living in a hotel, this isn't an individual with a live asylum claim, but the reality is we've got to make sure that community gets the right support. We'll be working with the police and the community to make sure they do.
This afternoon, Wayne Broadhurst's employer released a statement saying Wayne was a well-respected and dedicated member of our team who made a real contribution to the work we do and to the residents we serve. But as the tributes grow in number, so do the questions. Hannah Kings, ITV News.
Now he's been described as the Errol Flynn of the High Street when Milo McCabe first donned a purple smoking jacket and transformed into the character Troy Hawke. He could perhaps never have imagined where it would take him. He's come a long way from standing outside shops, greeting bemused customers and equally bemused shopkeepers. Tomorrow night he's headlining at the Palladium. Before I speak to him, here he is in action.
You look like a discreet assassin for a high-level fashion house. Thank you. You've been queuing the entire time as fruit.
As we have.
You're a tremendous Nordic meat shield. Have at it.
Well, thank you.
I'm very proud and I'm jealous of how good you should feel about yourself right now.
Never change. Left-handed handshake for the win. Have you seen?
She looked pleased.
She was delighted.
Yeah, she was happy.
That was Epsom High Street.
Yeah.
Have you ever been down there?
I think I have.
Hard recommend if you hadn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is everyone always as happy when you do that?
Most people. I had rather an adverse reaction from a British heavyweight boxer by the name of Derek Chisora.
Oh dear.
He said, "Call me adorable again, and I'm going to bleep you up."
Oh no.
He did.
You don't want to mess with a boxer.
But I did call him adorable again.
Oh no. Okay.
And he didn't do anything.
Okay, fine.
Because he's adorable.
And also Erling Haaland didn't look that impressed either.
I don't think Erling Haaland quite understood what I was doing there, or anything. His sort of mathematical computer brain was going through stats and working out how to optimise his play, which is what he seems to be doing all the time.
Yeah.
Even at the after parties, he's dancing. You can see he's putting together angles and yards and how to become a better footballer all the time.
Well, what are you doing then?
What am I doing?
Do you know what I mean? Like, so you're going out, you're complimenting people. I mean, I know it's kind of moved on since then, but that's how it started, isn't it? You know, like here outside shops, complimenting people. Why did you do that? Why did that come about?
I decided, well, the long answer, I know we're tight on time. I was suffering from something called imposter syndrome.
Oh, yeah, I've got that.
Everyone who's good at their job has got imposter syndrome.
Thanks.
It drives you to excellence because you're staring at your ceiling every night going, oh, how am I going to do this? And you ask yourself questions and you push yourself to work harder and it makes you excellent at your job. Do you know who's not good at the job? People who go to bed every night and go, oh, I nailed that one, because they don't improve.
Yeah.
They don't work on it. And because you're always taking yourself to task, that's why you keep getting better.
And so what did why did the imposter syndrome make you go out and do this?
Right, because here is the key to getting rid of imposter syndrome. Do you know who doesn't have imposter syndrome?
Who?
Imposters.
So you became an imposter?
An imposter with imposter syndrome is just self-aware, thereby cannot have imposter syndrome. So I posed as a greeter at all manner of shops. I don't know if we can name them or not.
Probably not.
No. So essentially I became the country's leading exponent of non-consensual customer service. And that's how it started. And I had no plans beyond that. I was offering my services for free. I'd go to a shop, business, I'd say nice things, and management would call security. Now, and I became, because I had my own job title, I started the Greeters Guild by myself, I decided I should appoint my own boss. So we don't always get the luxury of picking our own bosses.
No.
So I got to pick a man called Jan Mulby.
And was he pleased?
Jan, so direct quote from Jan at the time, I haven't got a clue what's going on, but as long as nobody's getting hurt, I'm fine with it, I suppose.
I think that's a fair enough thing for
Exactly.
life in general. It's moved on, hasn't it? You've been on tours, you've won awards.
Yes.
And tomorrow, the Palladium.
Tomorrow, I am playing at the Palladium.
And we should just say that that's the Apollo from before, of course.
That is the Apollo, of course. That is the Apollo, and now I'm doing the Palladium. Of course, Bruce Forsyth is going to be... He's in the... You know this.
What?
Bruce Forsyth. His ashes are in the stage.
Oh, OK.
Oh, yeah, he's sitting there, you know...
Supporting
every single person
Yep.
that goes on stage at the Palladium.
Amazing.
So I'm desperately excited.
Do you get nervous at all?
Do I get nervous? It's a problem if I don't get nervous.
Yeah.
I think you need a little bit of nerves to perform at your best.
Yeah.
There's something called eustress, which is the opposite of distress. It's like a curve. You need some nerves to give you a bit of zhuzh, to make your eyes sparkle. And by the way, yours were. Your gaze penetrates the lens like nothing I've ever seen.
Thank you very much.
You fire straight through it, and you know you do. You've seen yourself back. Stop it.
Oh, my God, stop it.
I won't, ever.
We haven't got much time left. Touring next spring.
Yes.
Going back home to Surrey.
I love
Do
your
they
point
love
and gesture.
you?
I love that.
Thank
It's
you.
so flamboyant.
Thank you so much.
Sorry. I love Liverpool. I adore Liverpool.
Okay.
I'm from Surrey, but I think my heart is in Liverpool. I think there's so much cultural pride there, and I think the Scousers are so much more emotionally open than us Surreyites. I live in Surrey, but, you know, emotionally, I'd like to think, you know, spiritually, I'm yearning to be a Scouser.
But you're a Liverpool boy, really.
No, I'm from Surrey.
You're a Surrey boy.
Yeah.
You're a Surrey boy. Are they not proud of you? How do they welcome you when you come back?
To Surrey, nobody notices. This is what I mean. Liverpool, Scousers, so much pride in their area. I don't think people from Surrey are that... What cultural reference points do we have? The good life. What else have we got?
Oh, come on, it's all good.
Name one more.
We're out of time. Troy, thank you.
Love it.
It's been a delight.
Oh, you're amazing. Thank you, Yos.
Thank you. OK, shall we find out what's on the evening news? Here's Lucrezia.
Coming up on the ITV Evening News, Jamaica declares a disaster after Hurricane Melissa ravages the island, inflicting widespread destruction and devastation. The sex offender Hadish Kibatu was given £500 to speed up his deportation from the UK, Downing Street confirms. And fans rallied to support Sheffield Wednesday amid hopes of a takeover bid after the club goes into administration. Join me for those stories and more at 6:30.
Now, the King and Queen paid a visit to Neasden Temple this morning to celebrate its 30th anniversary. The Hindu temple opened in 1995 and was built using entirely traditional methods and materials. The King and Queen observed spiritual ceremonies and met representatives from the community and congregation. And just before we get the weather, a stolen laptop, missing music from Stevie Wonder and a nighttime pursuit through the streets of North London. Not the plot of a TV show, but the grim welcome to our city for a country singer. America's Got Talent finalist Steve Ray Ladson had his luggage taken at St Pancras. Olivia Guthrie found out what happened next.
Blue moon of Kentucky, keep on shining.
Steve Ray Ladson's not your typical busker outside St Pancras Station. The America's Got Talent country star is backed by some of the biggest in the business.
I love the song, I love you, I love the band. Seriously.
Shine on the one that's gone and say goodbye.
But now he's singing his sorrows after his luggage was stolen when he arrived in London on the Eurostar.
I never thought that would have happened to me here at St. Pancras in a city like this. You know, I mean, I love London, so I was totally caught off guard when that happened to me.
Among the items taken, a laptop containing Steve Ray's life's work and unreleased collaborations with music legends Stevie Wonder, Billy Ray Cyrus and Pitbull.
It's more to it than it's just a laptop, you know. It's more stuff that I put my soul into, you know. So when it came up missing, it's like I lost more than just a piece of equipment. I lost my heart and soul at the same time. So I'm still trying to get over that.
Ain't nobody got boots like me. Also stolen was Steve Ray's custom-made, one-of-a-kind dungarees and cowboy boots. He and his manager pursued the thief for 2 hours by cab. Today showing me the route they took.
We kept calling 999 for every stop we made. We made about 3 different stops, so and they finally showed up on the last stop. They missed it by like 5-10 minutes. Yeah, we were right here on the left.
The last stop was on the Finchley Road, where they saw someone with luggage just like Steve Ray's.
And I can see the guy walking with it. It's like, it's gotta be here. And it's just hurting to have to see your stuff with somebody and you can see it. It's like, you can't jump out and grab them. And they just vanished off into the bus stop down there.
Steve Ray tracked his stolen kit to Algeria, information he passed on to police.
They were just like, oh, well, that's unfortunate, and pretty much it, you know. So I guess once it's in Algeria, I guess they're like, well, there's nothing much we can do.
The Met say they carried out a thorough search for the suspect, but were unable to trace him. They say their inquiries are ongoing. Meanwhile, Steve Ray says he'll do anything to get his treasured items back.
If you're out there listening, help me. There's a reward.
Olivia Guthrie, ITV News.
You know, we'll figure it out.
Oh no, we'll let you know if he ever gets it back. Rubbish weather today. Let's get the forecast now for the next few days. Here's Philippa Drew.
Come rain or shine, Octopus Energy sponsors ITV London weekday weather.
Hello there, hope you've had a lovely day. Weather-wise, it's not been the prettiest. A lot of cloud, outbreaks of rain as well. And through the next few days, it will stay fairly mixed. So more in the way of sunny spells to come, certainly, compared to today. But equally, some further rain or showers in the mix, and it will remain on the breezy side too. And this is how the pressure pattern is looking over the coming days. So low pressure really never too far away. Various fronts moving in off the Atlantic, providing the focus for cloudier skies. And as I said, some spells of rain. But in between, some sunshine to be had. Out there at the moment, the earlier cloud and rain is now starting to clear away, and for the rest of the night it will be very quiet, staying dry, clear skies overhead. And with those clear skies, temperatures will take a little bit of a tumble, so down to around 3 or 4 Celsius out of towns and cities, perhaps low enough in 1 or 2 spots for just a touch of grass frost to develop. So tomorrow morning, a much fresher start than we had today, but a much brighter start as well. Some lovely autumnal sunshine carrying us through the morning. Into the afternoon, a little more cloud starts to feed our way, making that sunshine rather hazy, so perhaps bright rather than sunny for the afternoon. But staying dry during daylight hours, and temperature-wise, with southerly winds a little up on today's valleys, 1 or 2 spots possibly touching 16 degrees Celsius. Now, as I said, it will be dry during daylight hours, but overnight into Friday, we'll see another front coming our way, bringing a spell of rain. That should clear by Friday morning, and Friday itself set to be a day of bright spells and scattered showers, setting the tone for the days that follow. A rather mixed bag of weather ahead.
Octopus Energy sponsors ITV London weekday weather.
And that's it from us. The evening news is next with Lucrezia, but for now, from all of us on the London team, have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.